Have you ever seen someone underestimated so badly that their silence alone became their greatest weapon? Today's story is about one woman, known only by her call sign, Iron Widow. She walked into a room full of elite Navy SEALs, faced an admiral who mocked her to her face, and walked out with every man in that room standing at attention. What she did next left even the toughest commander speechless. Stay with me till the end, because once you hear what Iron Widow did, you'll never forget her name. And before we begin, you're watching Grow for Justice, the channel where we share stories of courage, truth, and the people who redefine strength. So make sure to hit that subscribe button, and when this story ends, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. It started on a stormy morning at Naval Base Coronado, California. The sound of rain hitting the steel rooftops blended with the rhythmic pounding of boots across the training field. A meeting had been called, one that every SEAL on the West Coast was talking about. A new instructor was joining the program, someone recruited directly by the Pentagon to assist in advanced tactical simulations. No one knew her name, only a call sign, Iron Widow. The men laughed when they heard it. Sounds like a video game name, one snorted. Probably another desk officer, another added. Even Admiral Porter, a 30-year Navy veteran with a chest full of medals, smirked when he saw the name on the roster. Iron Widow. He chuckled to his executive officer. What is she? A Marvel character. But when the door opened, the laughter stopped. She walked in wearing a standard-issue uniform. No makeup, no rank displayed. Her posture straight as a blade. She didn't say a word. The only sound was the tap of her boots against the concrete floor. The air felt heavier with every step. Admiral Porter gave her a polite, mocking nod. So, he said loudly enough for everyone to hear, "You're the one they call Iron Widow. Interesting name. Mind telling us where it came from?" She looked at him, calm and collected. "No, sir," she said quietly. "I don't mind." He smiled, expecting a joke or a rehearsed explanation. But she didn't smile back. She stepped closer, meeting his eyes head-on. "It came from Kandahar, 2012, she said. "I was the only one who made it out." The room fell silent. The SEALs shifted uncomfortably. "Portiers Grandfaded. You were in Kandahar?" "Yes, sir." "Embedded with Task Force Hydra." That name alone changed everything. Task Force Hydra was classified, a joint covert mission that most people only heard whispers about. No one knew what had really happened there, but everyone knew how it ended. The entire unit was presumed dead after a 48-hour siege. If she was the only one who survived, the admiral leaned forward. "You're telling me you led that evacuation?" "I didn't lead it, sir," she replied, her voice steady. "I finished it." Word spread fast through the base. Within hours, everyone knew who she was, the lone survivor of a mission that had gone to hell and somehow brought 2 wounded men home alive. Yet, despite the story, the men weren't ready to respect her. They'd never trained under a woman before, especially not one assigned to test them. On the first day of field drills, she stood before 20 of the toughest SEALs in the Navy. Every one of them had combat experience. Every one of them thought she was a bureaucratic prop meant to diversify the program. She gave them simple orders. Gear up. 5-mile run. Novadox. Follow me. Half smirking, half bored, the men took off. Until halfway through, she was already 2 miles ahead. Not once did she look back. She didn't pant, didn't slow down, didn't break her stride. When they finally stumbled to the finish line, soaked in sweat and disbelief, she was waiting for them. Calm, composed, checking her watch. "Gentlemen," she said, "if you're tired after 5 miles, I can recommend a nice desk job in D.C. The silence that followed wasn't anger. It was respect being quietly born. Admiral Porter, however, still wasn't convinced. "Running fast isn't combat," he muttered. So he decided to push her. During a live simulation, he paired her with 3 of his best SEALs. The mission: infiltrate a mock compound and extract a dummy VIP. It was meant to test coordination, communication, and field discipline. But Porter had another plan. He radioed the other team leaders, telling them quietly, "Make her crack." She didn't know. Or maybe she did. But when the drill began, she moved like a shadow. No wasti motion. No hosetashchen. The SEALs following her struggled to keep up as she navigated the terrain, disarmed traps, and cleared corners before they even raised their rifles. By the time they reached the objective, the opposing team tried to ambush them, only to find themselves pinned down, disarmed, and neutralized before they could blink. The simulation ended in under 7 minutes, a record time. Porter stared at the monitors in disbelief. "Run it again," he ordered. They ran it again. Same result. Then again. She never faltered. Finally, the Admiral confronted her. "You've made your point," he said, "but I still don't understand why they call you Iron Widow." She met his gaze. "Because every time I went into the field, sir, someone tried to bury me. And every time I crawled out alive." That night, the base cafeteria was unusually quiet. Even the cocky veterans avoided eye contact when she entered. But she wasn't there to be feared. She was there to teach. She spoke to them about leadership, not through rank, but through example. Respect, she said, isn't given by medals or titles. It's earned in the silence between orders when no one's watching. The men listened, not because they had to, but because something in her voice carried the weight of truth. Over the next few weeks, Iron Widow became a legend on base. Her training sessions were brutal but fair. Her tactical insights, sharp as steel. She didn't just improve their performance. She transformed the way they thought. Admiral Porter began to notice it too. His men were sharper, faster, more coordinated. He realized she wasn't competing with them. She was preparing them for something bigger. Then came the test that changed everything. During a live-fire exercise off the coast, a mechanical failure caused an explosion on one of the boats. Fire spread fast. 2 trainees were trapped below deck. Alarms blared as chaos erupted. Before anyone could react, Iron Widow had already jumped overboard. Ignoring orders, she swam straight through burning fuel, climbed aboard the sinking vessel, and disappeared into the smoke. Moments later, she emerged carrying one man on her back, dragging the other with one arm. Her uniform was scorched, her arms bleeding from shrapnel, but her eyes, those eyes were steady as ever. When they reached the dock, Admiral Porter himself ran forward. "You could have been killed," he shouted. She turned, her voice barely above a whisper. "They're my team, sir. You don't leave your team behind." For the first time, the Admiral saluted her. Not because he had to, but because he wanted to. Weeks later, during the closing ceremony of the SEAL training cycle, Porter took the podium. His voice cracked slightly as he spoke. "Leadership," he said, "is not about rank. It's about resilience. It's about standing when everyone else falls." And today, we honor someone who reminded us what the word unbreakable really means. He gestured toward her, Iron Widow, front and center. As she stepped forward, every SEAL in the room rose to their feet. The applause echoed like thunder. Some of the toughest men alive stood with tears in their eyes. Admiral Porter removed his own challenge coin, a symbol of brotherhood and honor, and placed it in her hand. "You taught me something, Widow," he said softly. "You don't earn a name like that. You live it." She smiled for the first time. "Thank you, sir. But the name isn't just mine. It belongs to everyone who stood their ground when it mattered most." The legend of Iron Widow didn't end there. She went on to lead covert rescue operations overseas, saving lives in places no one talks about on television. Her story became a whispered tale among new recruits, a reminder that courage doesn't have a gender, and strength isn't measured in muscle, it's measured in heart. And somewhere out there, every time a SEAL hears the words, Iron Widow, they stand a little taller. Because they remember the day a woman walked into their world and reminded them all what true command looks like. So, if this story gave you chills, if it made you believe that respect isn't demanded, it's earned, Then don't forget to subscribe to Grow for Justice because we share stories that honor real strength, real leadership, and real justice. And now I want to know, where are you watching from? Drop your country or city in the comments. I read them all.